Now, people affected by chronic fatigue syndrome and long COVID say they are hopeful about a new £1 million study looking at the links between the two conditions. Now, the Rosetta Stone project is funded by the Buckinghamshire-based ME Association. More than 1.3 million children and adults in the UK are thought to suffer from the two conditions. Now, one of those is 37-year-old Tim Goodwin from Bury St Edmunds. Our reporter, Louise Parry, has been speaking to him.
People think that fatigue doesn't sound that bad. Just get on with it, just push through it. But with ME, your body just loses the ability to recover from exertion, physical or mental exertion. And so pushing through it just makes it worse. And sometimes it makes it permanently worse. If I have a day when I do a bit more, it's delayed. And a day or two later, I will have even worse fatigue. I'll have headaches, nausea, body aches, chills, or even feeling way too hot, heart palpitations, just racing heart, muscle weakness, just feeling rubbish. And the only way to get out of these flare-ups is just to rest for days and sometimes weeks until they go away.
So because you knew some people who had ME, perhaps you were a little bit wise to this. Do you feel like you've been able to try and manage the condition quite well?
Well, when I first realised what it might be, I thought I was being sensible. I tried to take it really easy. I cut down all that strenuous exercise I was doing, and I just thought that was going to be enough and carried on trying to do my job. I still didn't realise at that point how much damage I was still doing, and things just kept getting worse. I was having more and more days when I just couldn't function mentally, and it just wasn't sustainable. Eventually, I just had to go on long-term sick leave in August 2024. In terms of how life is physically, I can't really get out of the house. I mostly just have to rest in bed. I can't shower. I can manage a bath about once a week, and my wife washes my hair. I can't stand for long or walk very far at all, more than a few steps, without triggering these flare-ups. If I need to go to a medical appointment, my wife pushes me in the wheelchair. Yeah, my wife and son managed to go out on all sorts of adventures, which is great. And they send me photos of what they've been up to, but I wish I could just go with them, really. At the moment, the closest thing there really is to a treatment is just rest and carefully staying within the energy limits that you have, because we still don't know what's actually causing this illness, and we definitely need to have a lot more research to figure out what's actually going on in the body and how to treat it.
So in terms of this new project that is being funded by the ME Association, what are you hoping for from that research?
I guess I'm hoping if research like this can find some similarities or even differences with long COVID, I'm hoping that it might get us a bit closer to some treatments for both of them.
Dr. Charles Shepherd is the Honorary Medical Advisor at the ME Association and is on the line now. Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning, Andy.
What exactly does this research mean for people with ME and long COVID then?
Well, we hope it's going to help both groups of patients with these illnesses. I mean, just to put it into context, we know that there's probably around about 400,000 people have got ME. 25% of those people are severely affected or very severely affected, like Tim. We know, we don't have the precise figures, that there's probably around about 2 million people got some form of long COVID. Long COVID's an umbrella term for a whole range of different problems from people who just catch COVID and then don't recover, and they're still symptomatic at around about 3 months. But what we do know about this 2 million group with some form of long COVID is that most of them have got some form of ME symptomatology as part of their illness, and a significant proportion of them also meet diagnostic criteria for ME/CFS. So it makes sense, and this hasn't been done before. This is the largest and most comprehensive study. It's costing over £1 million. This is the most comprehensive piece of research which is going to look at both conditions in parallel and see if there are biological clues in these conditions, looking at the immunology of them, the gut microbiome, the viral infections that may coexist with these conditions, to see if we can learn some lessons which are going to provide some clues to actual treatments which are going to help both groups of patients.
In layman's terms, what are the differences between the two conditions?
Well, ME is a well-defined condition. It's an acute, normally post-viral condition. As Tim has described, it's really debilitating fatigue. It's a feel of, you're wandering around exhausted. It's not just tiredness all the time. And if you do too much on one day, then you have this payback the following day or the day after, what we call post-exertional malaise. People have problems with memory, concentration, as has been described now as being brain fog in long COVID. They have, as Tim described, problems with maintaining a standing position, and this is due to problems with the way in which the brain regulates heart rate and blood pressure. They have unrefreshing sleep. They have pain. Now, these are all conditions that a lot of people with long COVID have, as I say, but at the same time, long COVID is this very much an umbrella condition. So there are people with long COVID who've got problems with loss of taste and smell. They've got long-going problems from lung damage or heart damage from the COVID infection. So they don't really fit into this this part of the picture. But there's just a large, substantial, very large number of people with long COVID who've got this ME CFS illness as part of their long COVID.
So the end game in this research really then is hoping to discover a cure.
The end game of all research into these conditions is to discover a cure. And as Tim said, the big problem with this is, let's say we've got 2 million people at least with both of these conditions. There's no treatment at the moment for either of these conditions. Huge numbers of these people with these conditions are off work. They're in Tim's position. We've got to do something to help these people.
Absolutely. Dr. Charles Shepherd, thank you very much indeed for joining us on the show this morning. That's Dr. Charles Shepherd, who I mentioned is an honorary medical advisor at the ME Association, and also a big thank you as well to Tim from Bury St Edmunds, who was speaking to our reporter Louise Parry there.